years ago, I was still in school, and I was a member of the Man Movie Nightclub. And the Man Movie Nightclub was really a brotherhood of men. Not guys, not dudes, but men, manly men. And the way we celebrated our manliness was by watching manly movies. Conan the Barbarian made the list. Jerry Maguire, You Complete Me, did not. And these movie nights featured the holy trinity of cold beer, pepperoni pizza, and mutual insults. And something happened that made us really change, challenge, and ultimately let go of our idea of manliness. Because it was then that I discovered and then became addicted to ballroom dancing. So it started very simply. I had met a woman at a New Year's party. She was a dance teacher. We tried each other out. She called me a natural, and I believed it. And I started showing up for dance lessons. And the first couple of dance lessons were okay. You know, it was the waltz and it was the foxtrot. And I thought I was fine with it. It was all right because I could see Marine dads sort of dancing it with their daughters on the wedding night. So, you know, that's passable. I could still do it, watch Scarface and be okay. But then we switched to the Latin dances, you know, the salsa, the mambo, and the samba. And there, you know, that's what rocked my world, because the moves you could see there, you could not legitimately do those moves and then be part of the movie Man Nightclub without feeling that you were betraying somebody. And let me just give you an example. There's a very basic move in Latin dance, in the cha-cha or rumba, very sensual kind of Latin dances. It's called the New Yorker. And basically what you do is you open up the woman and you both face the same way. So let me just sort of show it. You go like that. To work correctly, there are two things that need to happen. One is you have to, your fingers, okay? You can't just throw them out there. You have to kind of keep the tension in your fingers and you have to bend your wrist. The second one is your hip. You know, you have to let go of your hip. You have to let it settle. You can't just step, you have to like settle. And that I refused to do. There was no way I could do that and then go to the Man Movie Night and look everybody else in the eye and then cheer at the key moments. I just couldn't do it. And you have to understand the dilemma I was in. The other members of the Man Movie Club, you know, when they competed, they wore jock straps and helmets. When I competed at ballroom dance competitions, I was wearing a tail suit and hair gel. They were holding a ball. I was holding a girl in a frilly dress. They heard a coach yell at them. I was hearing Sinatra kind of croon off in the distance. And so it just wasn't gonna happen. Not to say that I didn't try to come out to them at Man Night. I remember one evening, Full Metal Jacket was playing, and you know, the war movie, you know, in the dark room, I sort of looked at people's faces, you know, my friends who were part of this Man Movie Club, and you know, there was Larry from Ohio. He was a wrestler, and he had been thrown out of the state finals on a penalty called a 5-on-2, meaning that he had put 5 fingers on an opponent where he shouldn't. There was Bert, the historian was military. Bert, who was basically took off his shirt Abercrombie and Fitch style. And I was just about to say it, and then somebody in the movie says, a day without blood is like a day without sunshine, and so I just couldn't bring myself to do it. And then weeks later, months later, I was at a ballroom competition, and Larry, the 5-on-2 friend, calls and says, I accidentally picked up the phone, and he said, what are you doing? And then there's a pause, and then he says, what's that music and playing in the back? And I said, I think it may be Enya or something, knowing full well it was Enya. And then he said, what are you doing? And I said, I'm at a ballroom dance competition. And he said, okay, and why? And I said, because I'm competing in it, that's why. And then it just sort of slipped out. There was a silence, I could hear Larry sort of conferring with somebody, and then he got on the phone, and he says, "That's great, that's awesome." And I said, "Really?" And he's like, "Yeah, you're a total player." And so,